Loupi with the Wood Elves against Tanks Dwarves. Oh, damn. ODM players really think there is a way to win that match, apparently. I keep seeing it. Like, it's a very extremely difficult matchup for the Wood Elves. There are ways that to win it, but it's really tough. ODM players keep going at it. I don't know why. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we are gonna go for the second battle. So second battle between Tank as the dwarves and Loupi as the Wood Elves. Let's start with Loupi this time. Loupi going for an extremely... Yeah, I've seen that exact build. Wait, where's the cav? Is that... Yeah, there. I've seen that exact build by another ODM player very recently. So I guess it's like a trademark ODM anti-dwarf build. You have 3 units of Way Watchers, 3 units of Way Watchers, a Spellweaver of High, a Westalker, Glade Guard. So you have, I think, 4 Starfire Shaft and 2 regular Glade Guards exactly. 1 unit of War Dancers for having like 1 unit of infantry. You can, if Slayers, for example, threaten you or things like that, you can send the War Dancer, deal with them. And the Lost Sylvan Knights, Arwa, Ethereal, Great Stag Knights, very good damage. They cause magic damage, but they have such a powerful weapon strength and charge bonus that even the resistance to magic of the dwarf doesn't protect them against the Lost Sylvan Knights. And as a mage, it's high, so basically what you want as that build, the idea is if there is enemy artillery, you have Soul Quench on the Spellweaver, Arrow of Kornos on Westalker, and Snipe, and very good range on the Way Watchers, and you destroy the enemy artillery. There is not here, but if there was, you destroy the models of the artillery with Soul Quench and and Arrow of Kornos. Then you use the Way Watchers to shoot at the enemy range, and finally you shoot at the rest at what's left with your other archers, and if a unit is a bit isolated, you just send the Great Stag Knights, given the fact that besides like Grumbrindle, who is here, there isn't a lot of magic damage on the dwarf roster. You have Grumbrindle, and you have another unit with magic damage. I don't remember who it is, but you have very few options, basically, as the dwarf for magic damage. So the Lost Sylvan Knights are very good here. Just don't stay in melee against Grumbrindle, and you should be fine, especially with the Apotheosis to heal them and avoid them losing any models. So yeah, very solid army. It's a tough one still, because even having used all of your ammunition, if your opponent protected well against it with shields, you could still face an army that is just too numerous for you to finish. And now for Tanks Dwarves, you have 1, 2, 3 units of blasting charges. In the front, the enemy infantry is low armor, so they will shrek them with the blasting charges if it gets to that. Their danger for them, however, is that they are unshielded, and 4 dwarves have relatively low leadership for dwarves. Again, I really stress that point. So they can get broken fast, especially because they don't have shields. Followed by 4 units of Bugman's Rangers, right? Bugman's Rangers, excellent. They regenerate, they have a decent range, good missile strength, they have a shield, so a shield plus regeneration. They can trade fine against a lot of the enemy range, and in melee, 38 melee defense. They can protect against Glade Rider, Spears, Charges, for example. That won't break them instantly, like other range units. 3 units of regular Rangers, just cheaper, not as good as Bugman's Rangers in melee, and they don't regenerate, but again, they have shields, so yeah, they counter skirmish efficiently. 2 units of Slayers, regular Slayer, not the Dragonback version. 2 Master Engineers, 180 range, and runes of... they have the runes. So the runes is like a Scab's Grace, once again. It's a Scab's Grace of Fire. Does a lot of damage to low armored range units, like Glade Guards and things like that. I don't remember the exact range on it, however. I think, oh, it's 100. So you need to be somewhat close of them to be able to cast it, but yeah. And I mean, they can shoot, they can counter shoot, for example, at the Sisters of Twilight or other things like that with their 180 range. So they are almost as good as a Waste Stalker in that manner. And and you have finally Grumbrindle himself with just Flash Bomb. And of course he has the Unbreakable attribute that is free on him, that he can pop once in a while. Okay, let's see what they can do. So basically for Loupi it's gonna do as much damage from range, just kite, and use as much as your ammunition as you can before having to engage in anything. And for tank it's gonna be sustaining the damage, and if there is a unit of enemies that is mismicroed and forgot for a minute, well, you shoot at them with your own range. And West Stalkers, Way Watchers have very good range, but they are not very sturdy. So if you shoot at them because they were forgotten for a minute, that could be nice. Here the Spell Weaver of High has low X Blessing. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about that. So she's actually invisible right now. And the idea is to use that to approach the enemy artillery and be able to soul quench it if there is any, without getting shot at by cannons. Because soul quench doesn't have the range of the arrow corner, so you could get killed. And soul quench is great because it both kills artillery model and also, well, this wasn't the best example of it, but does okay against infantry. The more side shot it is, the better. Here, like I said, miners don't have shields. Way Watchers just drop them to half HP instantly. And it's gonna be a long one. The West Stalker still shooting. They are gonna go after another unit of miners. Beam, there you go. It's not the worst necessarily for tank. I mean, these units are gonna break, but they are not necessarily that needed either. The Rangers, they only cost 425. You can accept that loss, I think, for tank, just because it's a Way Watcher domination. You could argue it's if you use it on the miners, at least it's not on on a more important unit. Another Soul Quench skill, like 9 models on the Mugman Rangers. Of course, they can't regenerate models, and it's gonna be a kite as long as possible for Loupi. But if you look, the Way Watchers already used like what, a fifth of their ammunition, and they still haven't broken one unit of miners. That one is finally broken, but see, I mean, their ammunition has been going down. There is a lot of dwarves compared to the number of Wood Elves. And that unit is gone too, but the Way Watchers now at what, 70% ammo, and they already only killed 2 units of miners, so they need to get some value. The West Stalker going after the Master Engineer, so battle of sniper heroes. And also, oh yeah, the Master Engineer does a lot of damage per shot, so he can drop models out of the Lost Silver Knights. Not win one shot, but if both of them shoot, like, you can bring some models very low in terms of HP. Another shot in the Bugsman Rangers. They weren't, I'm not sure their shields were in the right direction, so that's why they took so much damage. And they're gonna get shot at again, going after the Slayers. And Slayers losing 4 models and what, a third of their HP. But the Way Watchers, once again, already expended almost half of their ammunition, so it's always impressive. You lose a lot of troops against this kind of build, but at the end of the day, you're like, what type of value was that ammo for them compared to what it costed me to expand it, basically. Now the Rangers and Bergman's Rangers shooting at the Way Watchers. The Way Watchers have been doing a lot of damage still. And yeah, the Lost Silver Knights are getting ready to engage. Grumbrindle is a bit far away. They are gonna do a charge into the Bugsman's Ranger. A lot of fire on them. So yeah, they probably need to retreat before Slayers arrive. And an Apotheosis just to make sure they don't lose a model. Here, one of the four of the models are actually kind of stuck, and they need to be careful about that. Another Soul Quench. Another shot of the Way Watchers into those Dwarf Warriors. And yeah, the Glade Guard with Starfire Shaft and I still haven't engaged. The Way Watchers really want to finish the enemy range before they start advancing. But see, like, these Bugman Rangers, they had their shields up and they didn't take that much damage from it. So that was decent. Decent trades for tanks so far. It's also very tough as a player. Oh yeah, these Rangers taking some damage there. As a player, it's really tough to see your units go to half health and things like that. And not panic, just keep doing what you do. Bye bye QR! Have a good time! You're getting Soul Quenched, you're getting Arrow of Kurnos, you're getting shot at by Way Watchers, charged at by Lost Silver Knights. Keeping your cool in these types of situations is a tough thing, but I think that unit of Dwarf Warriors was probably a mistake to like let it wander away so far from the lines. These Rangers are broken. These Bugman Rangers are getting very close to it too. They lost a lot of models. So yeah, a lot of dwarves still left, but they already slot 300 of them to kill only 3 wood elves. So. Which side do you think? Yeah, this is WWC on Jaeger. This is Loupi versus Tank. Loupi versus Tank. Loupi ODM is for the Wood Elves, of course, ODM, Wood Elves, and Tank going for the Dwarfs. So I don't know why ODMs don't ban that matchup. I mean, I understand this army is strong. It has been doing a lot of damage. But why go into such a matchup? Another good shot in the Slayers, and the Lost Silver Knights have lost 1 model. They are gonna jump on these Dwarf Warriors with the Spellweaver high. Apotheosis doesn't heal that much, it's like 800. So, Lost Silver Knights, they are getting... what? Log's Blessing, okay. Once they get a bit further away and they stop having models engaged, they will be able to disappear. Grumbrindle getting a good shot in the face by the Way Watchers, and now Loupi is gonna disengage and try to retreat and advance the rest of the army. Now the Way Watchers did as much damage as they could, and they all gained the chevrons, so they probably will look at the end, but yeah, probably most of them paid for themselves or close to it. Another charged into the charge into the Dwarf Warriors. Yeah, it's a really tough matchup for Wood Elves. You can do it again. These types of armies can do it, and especially if your opponents overreact and start panicking in different ways, making mistakes, giving good opportunities for you to isolate a unit and kill them. But Tank has been pretty precise in not letting his unit wander too far away and survive mostly. Now you have 3 units of Glade... you still have 6 units of Glade Guards, and you can't really catch them. Your Slayers are low, somewhat, so you have to hope you can get your Rangers into position. They are just 10 range lower than... oh, nice Rune of... oh, yeah, oh my god, that was a good one. Only kill 5 models, but bringing them to half HP. Very good one there. The Way Watchers, they might as well engage in melee at that point for sure. And the Lost Silver Knights getting another Apotheosis, gonna try to go after those miners. Are the miners in range? No, they are not in range to shoot there. Yep, this unit of miner is broken. The Way Watchers are of course gonna falter soon, but they have done a good job there. The 6 units shooting at the Slayers. Yeah, the Slayers are the only unit that are fast enough to really catch you in melee, so I understand the choice. Also, they are the one danger, really, to the Lost Silver Knights. Them and Grumby, obviously. I think the Spellweaver of Hype probably doesn't have a lot of magic left. She has used a lot of Soul Quenches already, at least 4 I've seen. No, you can have 4 on 2. You can have 4 on 2 on Jaeger. Because there you have 4 Starfire Shaft and 2 regular versions, so that's legal. Yeah, when the Way Watchers, they sacrifice themselves in melee, and so is the Way Stalkers to slow down the enemy. But Master Engineers also can be a pain. The War Dancers gonna go after the Slayers. They were there just for that purpose. They are gonna kill them. They are very good at that. And another good rune of Grumney. That unit really took a beating from it. And no. You can, if it's 2 different type of missile. Let's say fire and regular ones, that's legal. It's like if it's shield and unshielded, that's a rule break. If it's 2 different type of weapons, it's legal, basically on Jaeger. That's why you can bring 8 peasant archers, for example. Okay, so the dwarf warrior is getting shot at, but thank you, Torinsk. Thing is, you still have a lot of dwarves, and the ammunition on the Wood Elf is slowly starting to disappear. The Lost Sylvan Knights, however, I mean, if the enemy units are pretty low on HP, 1 charge could break them. So yeah, the Lost Sylvan Knights still have 19 of their 24 models. Yeah. Going after the War Dancer for tank here. Oh, that run, yeah, it's almost it's possible to dodge. I think it's 2-second cast. So especially if you see the engineer come, you assume it's gonna be for that, so you can dodge it. But I think you need to start moving before the enemy is actually casting it, because it's like Scab's Grace. It's almost impossible to do that. Okay, Wack, see you later. The Dwarf Warrior's getting shot at, but I mean they have shields, 85 armor. I can take a beating, and they cost 450. The Spellweaver using Loex Blessing to be able to jump on unit undetected. And yeah, cycle charging. Oh, there was an attempt at another rune of Grumney. Cycle charging by the Lost Sylvan Knights as much as they can, but they are starting to get low. They still have 18 of their models with only 900 HP, but they are starting to get low. And problem at this point is, okay, let's say you kill all the rangers. You still have 2 Master Engineers and Grumbindle to beat in melee. You need the Lost Sylvan Knights to do that. Your Spellweaver, I mean, she's on an eagle, but she doesn't have the best. She doesn't have the best sustainability. Only 44 melee attack and 30 melee defense. Low armor. I mean, Master Engineers have pretty much similar stat to her. So, yeah. The ammunition is starting to run out for the Wood Elves, and there are still a lot of dwarves. So, you have 1 unit of War Dancers. War Dancers can do fine, but they need to be careful about enemy fire. Both sides almost out of ammunition. And yeah, only 14 Lost Sylvan Knights. They still have more than half of their models, but at that level of HP... Oh, that's Slayers too. I mean, yeah, any damage almost loses a model there. And yeah... All of these units shooting everywhere. I'm gonna drink in a second. Up. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough for... I think it's tough for the Wood Elf at this point. Another rune of Grumney, gonna finish that unit almost. I'm not sure they're gonna break, but they're gonna cut close to it, especially if there is some support fire of the Grangers. Yeah, they broke. And they are pretty close from the white line too, so I'm not sure they'll be back. Yeah, I'm not sure Loupi can do it. The balance of power is slowly a bit in favor of the Wood Elf for a while, and now it's slightly in favor of the dwarves. And yeah, I mean, Lost Sylvan Knights, only 10 models now. They're gonna go after that unit of dwarf warriors. The Spellweaver, again, Loex Blessing. Also, it improves the speed, so she has 137 speed, and she's gonna disappear pretty soon. Another rune of Grumney. These runes have done so much for... the Master Engineer with the runes have done so much for the dwarves, honestly. Master Engineer getting focus fire by armor piercing missile. is taking a lot, but yeah. And you still have a healthy-ish Grumbrindle to deal with. And he's gonna be able to do a lot there. Also, the Master Engineers, I mean, they can shoot at the Spellweaver. These unit of War Dancers are gonna engage with Dwarf Warriors. They will win that fight. I mean, if Grumbry joins, it's gonna be tough. And is there any range left? Yeah, there is any ammunition left. Yeah, look at the fire of these Master Engineers into the Spellweaver, doing good job. This one is gonna break, for sure. War Dancers might want to disengage. There is a lot after them, but yeah, now they got flash bomb, so they can't disengage. Actually, yeah. Grumbly flash bombing them, and the Spellweaver at only 1000 HP, and the balance of power creeping more and more in favor of the dwarf at this point. The Bugsman's Rangers will beat Glade Guards in melee. Good fire into the Master Engineer. Loupi charging desperately to break these units, and the War Dancer are still here. Going after the Master Engineer. 1-on-1, she should be okay, especially with support fire and some other guys on the ground. I mean, might come down to Grumby versus... Yeah, it's gonna be Grumby versus the world. Everything else is almost broken. The Master Engineer is still here, but he was wavering a second ago, and he's not immune to psychology, so he could get terrified. Yeah. Okay, Grumby versus all of that. Can he do it? He's unbreakable. So that's, I mean, even if it reaches army losses at some point, he won't care. He does magic damage, so the Lost Silver Knights, I mean, anyway, they have almost no HP left, so even if he wasn't doing a magic damage, he has enough weapon strength to kill Model at this point. Some dwarves coming back because there was no mobility left on that side to deal with them. Coming back with... and yeah, and they did rout a second ago, but I saw a few arrows. How? You don't have ammunition, guys, anymore. Another flash bomb gonna help a lot here. I mean, the Starfire Shaft tried to disengage. I mean, they are slower than dwarves at this point, which is 11 speed on them. They broke once again the 2 units of Bugman's Rangers. And you have 2 units of mobility for the Wood Elves, so you could make sure they don't come back because... wait, they don't... Okay, they don't regenerate when they're broken, apparently. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, so the mobility is gonna go after the Bugmans and make sure they don't come back. And it's gonna be a Cycle Charging attempt on Grumbrindle. He took a nice bit of damage right there. But if he gets 1 hit on the Spellweaver, she's dead. So it's a dangerous game that she's playing, trying to Cycle Charge him. But there is no other choice. I mean, look at the damage he's taking. It must be like... I mean, yeah, 11 damage here. Yeah. He's not taking much from these guys, and he's gonna slowly go after them. Another good charge from Grumbrindle. On Grumbrindle, and that hurts a lot more. Oh, but there you go. Like, she's not dead, but she has 72 HP. She lost like 400 and something. She's broken. Will she come back? She has 1 leadership. The white line is somewhat far away. She might barely be back. But, yeah, Grumbly, 1500 HP. This unit is wavering. Only 8 morale, leadership, yeah. The Lost Silver Knights might have to Cycle Charge, honestly. Yeah, oh dear, as you say, another flash bomb. Yeah, maybe that's why Loupi was waiting for before sending the Lost Silver Knights to wait for the flash bomb to go off. Dear Lord. And the Spellweaver is not coming back. She's at -4. Balance of power went back a bit in the favor of the Wood Elves, but is it possible to kill Grumby? He's taking no damage from the archers, and he's killing them. Yeah, all these ones are broken. Yeah, the Spellweaver is gone. You have the Lost Silver Knights coming back, but there is a mass rout, and I think Grumby is gonna do it. Yeah. He's gonna escort them to the as close as he can to the white line before they get outside of his range, and Yeah, no, I agree. And probably cycle charge more with the Lost Silver Knights. Because like the archers by themselves, they do nothing. They just hold for a while. But without cycle charging from either the Spellweaver or the Lost Silver Knight, they do nothing. So yeah, sending in one by one, and rather than going after the 3 Bugsmans Rangers that were here, starting cycle charging with the Lost Silver Knights. I mean, the balance of power is still saying the Wood Elves are leading. I have to disagree. He's gonna charge. He's probably gonna kill a model or 2. Yeah, he killed 2 models on that one hit. He killed 2 other models, and they are not unbreakable. They don't know they're dead, so they are gonna rout soon. They only have 4 models left, and they're routing. Now the archers are back. Yeah, the archers are back, but I think that's not gonna do it. Because, yeah, the Lost Silver Knights didn't want to engage against Grumby without support of the Glade Guards to get some of the hits from Grumby. And yeah, I mean, he lost a few HP there. He's only at 900 HP, but yeah, the white line is pretty close. 2 of them are back. These ones are broken again. They have one more they could come back one more time before they break for real. Another flash bomb is gonna make sure they don't escape him. He's gonna try. At least he's very slow. Is he really 3 times faster than them? I don't feel it. They have like 11 speed. He has 32. He's barely catching up to them. Yep. Okay, all the Wood Elves units are back. The Lost Silver Knights are gonna try one last charge into Grumby. He's killing some more of them, and they are charging him. How much damage are they gonna do? 0. Well, that sucks. They did 0 damage on the charge, so yeah, and now it's Armelos'. Damn! Oh, flash bomb don't work on you. Routing it? I didn't know that, Winiego. Okay, thank you. Well, that was again a close one. Both battles were down to the wire between these 2 players, and Tanks actually gets a 2-0 out of it. So good afternoon either way on both battles, but both times Tank managed to get the win. Very good job to both of them. They, of course, like from our perspective, like on Diego said, we can see from mistake from them. But during the heat of the battle, I think they both have reacted very well. Tank in the first part of the battle, enduring the fire, not panicking, not overextending, staying strong. Loupi, I think, wasn't looking enough for the runes of Grunny of the master ring of the Grunny from the master engineers, and I mean they paid for themselves twice each, pretty much, just because of that. Sometimes they were too bunched up. Like you have 70 more range than the master engineers ring. I think you can dodge it, basically, or at least make sure only one of your units gets it and not 2. But yeah, in the heat of the battle, it's a lot harder to actually react to it.